Welcome to App Judgment, your source for mobile application news and reviews. I'm sitting here with Tom of ngmoco. He's going to be demoing SKYFALL, the new MMORPG for Android and soon on iOS. So I think we can just jump straight into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Can people play with each other on both platforms?
Doesn't matter what device you're on. That's one of the great things that Mobagi allows us to do.
Okay.
I'll just walk you through the tutorial, and then I'll show you a character a little bit further along so you can see how the world expands. One of the things that was also important to us was bringing more of a console RPG experience to the mobile device, so making a little more depth in story and in the world.
Cool.
So here I've got a rogue that I can choose from, a warrior or a mage. Each have their own special abilities and weapons that they can use. We have a complete character customization. I can pick the hair color, skin tone. I can roll the dice. I can be female or male. This guy looks cool, so let's go with him.
Yeah.
And so here's an example of our world and exploration. So we knew we could get battle good, we knew we could get building your character up, but it was one thing, how do we fit exploration into a mobile play session style?
Yes.
So we fiddled around with some ideas, and we came up with this idea around the world is covered by fog of war. And I tap on these tiles to reveal the world.
The exploration right here is just kind of tapping on those tiles.
Right.
That's sort of the travel system where
each tap costs me energy, and I can move through the world that way.
Tapping is exploration.
Yep. So here I've uncovered a quest giver. I can accept the quest. He wants me to go kill a spider, or X marks the spot. I'm going to head over there, and now I'm going to enter combat, so we'll get to see how the combat works in SKYFALL. It's all about timing. The bar up top, I begin by touching this, the slider starts to move. My goal is to hit that red mark. That's the critical hit. If I hit anywhere in the yellow, it's just a normal hit. As I get better weapons and stronger, more powerful weapons, where that crit is and where the yellow is, and then we'll have introduce misses, so you can do a risk reward and if you want to go for the critical strike. One of the cool things that you can't see when I just have the device here flat on the ground, but if I pick it up here and start to move it, you can see that there's parallax on the screen, and the players.
So it's using the accelerometer almost as a visual aid.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it brings a little bit more life to it, makes it feel a little more engaging. Also, the characters aren't confined to these boxes.
Right.
You'll see in combat, they'll come out of it, and just a little more excitement.
So I can't help notice that the combat system is almost like golf mechanics.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, the old golf games where you had to start and stop for your putt. Every time I kill or defeat an enemy, I get loot from that enemy.
Sure.
The most valuable I can get is these locked treasure chests. They're one of the most sought after things that you want in this game. They always have really, really good gear that is going to be useful to your character.
Sure.
There's two ways that I can open this chest. I can use a key, or I can take a chance to pick a lock.
Right.
So in this example here, I'm going to use one of my keys and get a really cool staff that's going to make me more powerful.
So this is, again, still sort of the same console mechanics where it's the hook is the reward and leveling your character.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then, you know, there's just different things that drive you. Exploration, figuring out the story.
Sure.
The story in SKYFALL is very deep. So you're a new recruit joining the military of your land, and right when this is happening, these beams are starting to give out.
Okay.
These beams are source power. Source power is our mana, and everything magical has a certain amount of source energy inside of it. So as the game starts, these beams begin to start failing, and no one understands why or what's happening. But what's happening is enemies that have been imprisoned up in these beams that are being held up above the sky are starting to come down now and terrorize the land side. And so you're starting to save people that have been attacked, different areas as you move through the game. And you're uncovering why these beams are failing, and that's kind of the the lore behind it.
Interesting.
And hence the name Skyfall.
Right, right.
This is our inventory system. You can hold up to 25 to 30 items. That inventory can grow as you level up. So there's weapons that warriors can use, weapons that rogues can use, and weapons that mages can use.
And is the loot always specific to your character, or do you get drops sometimes?
You'll get drops from all the different characters, which you can then sell those items right now. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to gift them to friends. The chest items are always your character class, so it's always going to be beneficial to you. So there's 2 layers to the game. One is this world that you move around in, the other is these dungeons. One of the great things about dungeons is that you can bring a friend with you to help you out. So I'm going to choose my friend that is a mage, or sorry, a rogue. Okay, so now I'm going to battle the dragon with my friend. Ah, I missed. Now you can see the little ball over here containing my source power went down. It cost me 10 source power to use it. Every time I make a combat move, I get a little bit more source power back.
So we've seen a lot of the console-based things, and I think we just touched on a little bit of social. You guys are ngmoco. You guys are obviously masters of mobile social right now. What are some of the social elements of this?
About every land that you go visit will have a central town. All these little icons up top are other players playing the game that I'm not friends with.
Okay.
So at any point I can click on one of these guys and see Pepe Smith and What's Up 2 and Little Mama, you know, and these are players that are actively playing the game.
These are medieval names, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say to Pepe Smith, hey, let's be friends, and I can send him a friend request right there, and it's been sent. So another real cool area where we introduce you to characters is sometimes you'll see an enemy with that blue icon on it. When I jump into a battle, it randomly grabs another player that I'm not friends with, and we get to fight this monster together. But at the end of the battle, it will ask me, do you want to become friends with this player? And I can...
And this is actual real-time playing with someone else?
No,
Again,
I'm just borrowing their character,
Okay.
and then can become friends with them afterwards.
Okay.
So now I have a friends icon down here. So I can click on that, and I can go visit any of my friends. And it portals me out of my world, and it takes me to their world. I get to see where they are currently in the game and what they're doing.
So, I mean, being at GDC, let's talk a little bit about the developer side of this. You, I went to Chris's talk a couple days ago, and he was talking a little bit about sort of the back-end stats pooling. You guys are doing something interesting where you're beta on Android before you go to OS.
Right.
How's that helping you guys?
Well, it allows us to really fine-tune it before we go out onto iOS, because we want to make sure that once we're on iOS, we're really where we need to be.
Right.
And you know, a lot of the stuff he was showing with funnels, and you know, a lot of our games are really focusing on that to see where we're losing players, and it could be just misinformation that we're giving them. It could be, in certain cases, tech issues that we might be having, and we just want to really drill down and make sure that we're getting rid of that, so that you know, anyone that's going to download this game already has an interest in RPG fantasy, and so we want to make sure that when they show that interest and download the game, that we show them the game in its best light, and then they can decide, this is something I want to continue with or not. So,
Tom, thank you so much for demoing the
Thank
game.
you.
It's looking really good. When can people expect this game to be out to? When is it beyond the beta?
Pretty soon. We're just filing up the iOS version, and then we'll be pulling the beta tag off and pushing the live demo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. Check us out at appjudgment at revision3.com, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We're all over there. Also, check out Rev3 Games. That's revision3.com/Rev3Games. We're putting a lot of GDC. Here to look there. See you guys soon.